Hello everyone and welcome to Real Talk with Odun. Hey guys, it's been a while, it's been a very long time. That was a long break, right? I think the last time we were here was one Saturday in July, I'm not sure, but yeah, I told you guys then that I would be going on a break. It was a long break actually. So welcome to Real Talk with Odun, and as usual I'm excited to be coming your way this afternoon. Again, after that long break. Sorry, I have to repeat that. Anyway, how are you all doing? Hope you all are hanging in there. Hope you all are breaking barriers, setting goals and achieving them, doing the impossible, making your name for yourself, kicking BUTT. I hope so. Anyway, welcome once again to Real Talk with Odun. My name is Odun Akirele for those that are joining on for us for the first time. And Real Talk with Odun is a show that is centered around women coming down, sitting together, gisting, talking, giving our own opinions and views about issues that concerns us, about issues that concerns our societies, that concern our marriage, our children, that concerns life generally. And we sit down here, we talk, we gist, we laugh, we play, we give our views, we give our own opinions without fear of retribution, of someone not feeling okay, or someone coming back at us. We just sit down here and we just do us. That's what we do on Real Talk with Odun. That is for the benefits of those joining us for the first time. So welcome to Real Talk with Odun. Okay, on today's show, we'll be talking about gender roles. What exactly is gender roles? What is gender? We are particular about she's a man, she's a woman, she can pay the bills, or he can pick up the bills while I take care of the kids, or he can work while I sit at home and cook. But who gave us these laid down rules? Where did we get them from? How did they come about? Who specify and say this is what a man should be doing, this is what a woman should be doing? In what book is it written that a man cannot cook or that a woman cannot pick up the bill? Is there actually a rule book that specify and say this is what a man should do, this is what a woman should do? Those are part of what we will be talking about today on Real Talk with Odun. Dami Oluwa, thank you for joining the show. We are still going to get some of our returning guests that fans that joins us on this show every day. I'm sure some of them will be wondering what happened to us, but yeah, like I said, there was an announcement that will be going on a break. So let's get right into it. Gender roles. I have two guests. I have a virtual guest and I have a studio guest, which is the norm on Real Talk with Odun. At times we have just one guest, but most of the time we have two. We have a virtual and we have a studio guest. And today we are back to the norm somehow. We have a studio guest and we have a virtual guest. My studio guest is Comfort Ibe. Comfort Ibe is a citizen of Imo State in Nigeria. She has a BA in Health Education from the University of Nigeria. She has a postgraduate, a master's in business administration from UNICAL. She has a BSN from Loyola University here in the US. She's a psychiatric nurse practitioner from Walden University. She relocated to the United States of America 18 years ago, and she's married with two lovely children. She has two beautiful children. And that is Comfort Ibe. I'm going to go to her if she has anything to add to her introduction, but let's just give her a Real Talk with Odun kind of welcome. Welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you. Welcome to the show and thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think you've already introduced me, so I'm okay with the introduction.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. Our virtual guest is one of our returnees. We have like a family Real Talk with Odun. We just plug them and say, come back. You're coming back, so you come back. So one of those people is our virtual guest today. We are familiar with her. She's been on the show before. Her name is Bola Olukoju. Bola is a public relations and communications practitioner that is skilled in digital marketing. She's like, duh. Anything digital marketing, bring it my way, right? Then she's also skilled in communication, brand management, and more recently, government relations. She has over 13 years of extensive experience in the industry. She's also the co-founder of Blue 38, a public relations and communication firm. She's a Google certified digital skills trainer. She has been able to equip over 5,000 people with the required digital skills that has helped them improve their entrepreneurial and employability skills. Bola co-founded Babyhood TV, a multimedia family-focused platform which engages mothers and others on the needs to raise a wholesome child and value-driven family system. She also mentors teenagers via a platform, the Teenage Network. Then she's raising a new generation of leaders, which has over the last year garnered over 2,000 teenagers. Bola is a child of God and a devoted worker in the media department of a church and happily married with 3 kids. Welcome to the show, Bola Bello Olukoju.
Yeah. It's good to be
Yeah, yo.
Good evening from Nigeria. So it's good afternoon in your place. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be the returning guest on the first big break back.
Yes, so big break back. I like that. It sounds like Big Bang Theory. Big break back. All right. Thank you, Uzo, for joining. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you, Nkuruka. Thank you all for joining and welcome back after our break. Welcome to the show. So let's get straight into it, and I'm going to ask Bola first. Gender roles. What is your own definition of gender roles?
Okay, thank you very much, Odun. Gender roles is, the expectation of how a particular gender should act, how you should talk, how you should walk, how you should behave. That's what gender roles are. And they say feminine, masculine, but thank God for the society dynamics. We have people who identify as other beings.
We have it now. We have it.
Yes.
We have they.
Exactly. So people identify as different things. So it's not more the feminine, masculine type again. But today, let's just look at the feminine, masculine type for the purpose of this discussion.
All right. Thank you so much. So let me ask you the same thing, Comfort. What are gender roles? What is your own definition of gender roles?
Okay, before I go into the definition of gender roles, I would like to look at gender. Gender is the characteristics, the values that is ascribed to different sexes, female, males. Then gender role, like Bola said, is what is expected of each sex, male, female. Males like know how to cook, know how to clean, know how to wash, know how to be respectful to the males, and the male, they are mostly seen as the head, the superior being, kind of. They are also seen as the ones to pay the bills, to take care of the family, while the female takes care of the children and help bear children. That is mostly how the different sexes are being seen.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So like the both said the same thing, that gender is a sexist, but then the role part is how a particular sex is expected. I'm not actually even going to use the word suppose, is expected to act or behave. Like Comfort said, the male is expected to provide for the family, while the female is expected to bear children and cook. So we are going to try and unravel that a bit later. All right. So but let me ask you this: do you agree with Comfort's definition of the roles aspect of our discussion for today?
Well, I agree. It's supposed to be the norm that a man is supposed to be this, a woman is supposed to be this. A woman should know how to cook. A man should know how to bring home money. But dynamics are changing. A lot of things are changing. It's not the way it used to be before. Now, men can cook, women earn money. So the dynamics are changing. So it's not like they're changing. It's not like how we used to know it before. It's not like the definitions they give us. That a man, when they say gender roles, a man should a man shouldn't cry. A woman should always be
yes.
crying. Where is it written? Who
Exactly.
wrote that theory? Everybody's an emotional being. If you want to cry, cry. You shouldn't be saying, okay, a man shouldn't cry.
Men don't cry.
Because it's to show that he's not, a man doesn't cry. He now pents up emotions. So when he now bursts, he now becomes like a raging lion. Why? So I think, you see, gender role, the perception from the beginning has changed. Things are no more pink and blue.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So let me come back to you, Kofotu. Do you agree with what she just said about things are changing? About the okay, let me just ask you this. Where is it written that what a woman is supposed to do is cook and bear children? Is there like a rule that backs this up, or that said that is what a woman must do? Or where is it written that it's only the man that must provide for the family?
To answer that question, I will say the Bible somehow mentioned it, that a woman should be submissive to the husband, husband should love the wife, and that a woman should be trained to nurture, to bear the children, to nurture the children, and to take care of the family, while the husband takes the financial responsibility in the family.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, Bola, back to what Comfort just said about it being in the Bible. I guess where she's referring to is the Proverbs 31 woman, where the Bible said she should do this, she should take care of her children, she will call her husband blessed, she will do this, and then the part of the man is a man that doesn't provide for his own is worse than an infidel. Those passages are in the Bible. So I want to ask, what is your own opinion about that?
Okay, a man who doesn't provide for his home is worse than an infidel. So what is the woman supposed to be doing when the man cannot provide for his home?
Cook what the man cannot provide.
the woman should be submissive. Yeah, I agree with the tenets of the Bible, but like I said, dynamics are changing. Things are changing. Jesus Christ died for all of us. He didn't say there's a medal for suffering. He already died on the cross of Calvary for us. So when it comes to stereotypes, I don't agree with the laid down stereotypes. I believe what a man can do, a woman should also be trained to do the same thing. Because the truth is, unfortunately, the world is changing. And we've come to a point whereby there's nothing a man can do that a woman cannot do. If a woman wants to get pregnant, she can go for donor sperm and not need a man.
Yes.
Yes. So it's not about, these stereotypes of a woman is supposed to be accommodating, she's supposed to be emotional. All that has changed. They should allow men to be emotional too. They should allow men to be accommodating too. They say men have to cook, women have to cook, they have to be submissive. When their husband says sit down, you sit down. Now, women bringing more to the table. Women are providing more than men.
Okay, but let me just interrupt you a bit there, because someone just said that they can't hear anything.
From me?
No, not you. I'm telling the team. Someone just said they can't hear anything. Yeah. All right, go on. But I think maybe it's that person's connection, because someone else said things have really changed. A woman should contribute to. All right, thank you, Amaka. Go on, Bola. So I guess maybe it's that person that can't hear.
Okay. So women should, this stereotype, women should also be allowed, I'm not saying a woman should provide 100%. There can be, she can be in a supporting role.
Yeah.
But in the instance when there is no man to provide, the woman has to take over. It's not about a man must always bring home money. What does a woman do? Okay, the Proverbs 31st woman says, if a woman, she guards her house, she provides, she goes out in the morning, she goes to...
That's a very hardworking woman, actually. A Proverbs 31 woman is a very hardworking woman.
How many Proverbs 31 women do we have now? Let's be factual. What one thing I like about your show is that we talk from our heart.
Yes.
It's factual. There's no pretense. There's no- Occupation, when we were growing up, women were known to be nurses, they were known to be teachers. You hardly find women engineers. But now we
Engineers
find
or
women-
bricklayers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We find women painters who paint houses. So things are changing. The dynamics have changed.
All right. Thank you so much.
The way
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Nkuruka. Okay. Yes, we know. She said she can hear now. All right. So, Comfort. Let me come back to you. This, the effect of gender roles. Do you think it's having a certain effect, like Bola just said about how we train boys not to show their emotions, and if they do, we tell them they are weak or they are soft. Do you think that is, being a psychiatric, you know, do you think that affects their mental health when we teach them to suppress their emotions? Because as a boy or as a man, you should not cry outside, you should not be weak, you should always be strong. And do you think that affects them mentally, the suppressing of their emotions?
Yes, like Bola rightly said, when they suppress their emotions and then at the time that they want to express themselves, they kind of blow up. So yes, the gender role really affect how males and females react. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like she said, a man is not supposed to cry. So in situations, something happens to a man and ordinarily he's supposed to cry and express his emotion. He's kind of, I'm a man. I'm not going to cry so that people won't think I'm not man enough. So he will suppress his emotions. Then later, minor thing can trigger that emotion. And then he blows up. It's kind of transfer of aggression.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Most of
he
the time
is
they take it out
reacting-
on the wife.
What he is reacting to at that particular time is not what happened, but what happened earlier. So that is the effect of that, yes. And like Bola rightly said, things are changing, which I agree with you. But at the same time, the gender role is still having an impact in both sexes. Like there are situations where even in this new dynamics, women will not be able to stand up for what they believe in, mostly. They will not be able to express themselves because the society does not accept that from you, especially where we come from in Nigeria. There is a way a woman will act and people were like, wow, is this woman not trained? Is she not trained? Why is she behaving like this? She's not supposed to do like this. She's not supposed to behave like this. So I think our culture and tradition also affects us. No matter how you think things are changing, where we come from really affects us. So that's what.
That's so true. I agree with you. So about what Comfort just said, I kind of agree with that, because like the greatest impact on a child is actually the society. And if a society is structured in a way where someone is expected to act in a certain way, like women, like she rightly said, we are trained to just be seen but not heard. We are not trained to voice out, to actually say this is how I feel about this, or to stand up to a man in our society. And so from a very tender age, we are being taught to be quiet, while the man is being taught to flex his muscle as a man. So I just want to ask your own opinion. This is a guy just said, they tell us to be a man. I wonder what that means. So I want you to add, if you have something to add to what Comfort just said, Bola.
Yeah, I agree with what Comfort said about values. I preach value-driven society. I preach traditional values being passed down. But I will not preach that a man should suppress the feelings or the ability of a woman to be able to speak out. Let me give a personal example. The way I was trained that whatever a man can do, you should be able to do better.
Yeah.
So there's nothing a man can do now Oh, yeah, okay, except get a woman pregnant, I can't. But any other thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But any other thing, I can do it. Now I have a son. I'm raising my son to be flexible. He shouldn't be rigid. If you have a challenge, express it. Because we have to raise our boy child differently. We know, okay, for instance, I love to dance. When I dance, people like, what's wrong with her? Why is she all over the place? But dancing gives me joy. It gives me rest of mind. It relieves me of stress. Now, if I have to look at what the society will judge me with, I wouldn't do anything and I will be stressed. But you see, when it comes to gender role, let's be flexible a little. Yes, values are there, but we have to be flexible.
Okay, I think we need to unpack this. Maybe try to differentiate values from roles. Okay, I think we need to try and see if we can unpack that. What are values and what are roles? Because I averagely would think roles is as a, like we were trained. Let's be honest with ourselves, which is what we try to always do on this show. We are always honest. We are trained as women for the kitchen, especially African women. Nigeria, where we come from, we are trained for the kitchen. We are the ones that they will tell to go to the kitchen, go wash the plates, go cook. They will tell, maybe in my own case, while I was brought up, my dad washes and does everything a woman do. That's for my own part of the world. And I remember that then in our neighborhood, people always say something is wrong with my dad, because he cooks with us, he washes with us, he cleans the house with us. We do things together. We actually pound yam together with my dad. And so they always say something is wrong with my dad. And in the same vein, whatever my dad expects the boys to do, he also expects the girls to do. So it was somehow balanced. But we know that predominantly in our society, women are trained to know how to cook. They are the ones that they will say, go into the kitchen. While maybe they will tell the guy to go change the tires of the car. As in, they give the boy child the every stuff to do. That is what I think is roles. Now, values for me, I think is integrity, is modesty, is honesty, is hard work. So I think, I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but is roles and values, are they the same thing?
No, they are not the same thing. Like you classified it. Values are things like ethics, professionalism, integrity, honesty, commitment. Those are values. Do not steal. Do not fornicate. Do not. Those are values that your parents pass to you. But roles, you can't say, okay, like woman, you're driving, you have a flat tire. I'm not saying all women should always change their flat tires. But when you are left with no option, you should have that idea of how to change a tire.
Not call your husband and say, babe, I have a flat tire.
Do you know the best chefs are men?
Yes.
Why do you think, what it's funny now that people look at it and say a man must behave in a certain way. If he doesn't behave in that way, he's not a man. That is what is destroying a lot of men. A woman, they'll say, no, a woman shouldn't talk, she shouldn't express. A lot of women are frustrated at their workplaces because they say women are supposed to keep quiet. They cannot stand up to say what they feel or what is right without getting sanctioned. I mean, these things we need to look at them holistically and say, what exactly are we going to do going forward?
Yeah.
Are we going to train our children?
Yeah.
Yes. In the US, pink is for men, blue is for women. But the world has changed everything. Now we have pink for men, pink for women, blue for men. Now you see a man wearing a pink shirt. You look at him funny, like, why is he wearing a pink shirt?
That's not a man's color. That's not the color of a man.
But pink is a color.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So let me come back to you, Comfort. Are there gender roles that you think we should teach our children? Are there certain things? Okay, let me go back to values and roles. do you think we should actually instill values in them than us teaching them roles? Or do you think we should teach them roles and say, okay, you as a boy, as a man, as a boy, I don't want to see you in the kitchen. Your place is not the kitchen. Then the girl, go to the kitchen, go and wash that plate, go and cook that thing, go and. Do you think that is what we should be doing? Because that's what they taught us actually.
In my opinion, I think we should teach our children values. In the process of teaching values, roles should come in. To me, I'm not saying that a man should not help in the kitchen. I'm not also saying that women, their roles should just be childbearing and in the kitchen taking care of kids. But we should not forget that no matter how things change, most roles will not change or might not change. Childbearing is for women. That's basic. Taking care of the children is for both men and women, but mostly for women because of the nurturing characteristics of women, we tend to be in a better position to instill most of these values in our children, to train our children in the way they should behave, because you find out in most homes, 80%, let me put it that way, women stay mostly with the children than the men. Mostly in most homes. I'm not saying that men should not wash dishes. I'm not saying that men should not help out in the home, taking care of the family, but that is the role of the woman. When you deviate from that, there's a problem, whether you believe it or not. And yes, things are changing. It's because of these changes in the society that is making us to also experience the negative effect of these changes. Because when you look at it now, we are having a lot of divorce now than before. And to me, I will say part of it is this changing roles or whatever. To me, that is mostly part of it. Women should be women and men should be men. That does not mean that women should not do what a man can do, and men should not do what a woman can do. That is just how I'm going to put it.
All right, thank you. Bola, do you agree with what she just said? Okay, I think I don't agree with some part of what she said about women being the only one that can instill values in the children.
Mostly.
It's your opinion, though. Bola, do you agree with that? I believe both parents should be able to instill values in children, both of them. If that's my own opinion.
Yes, but in the absence of one parent, the other should be able to take care of the children. I agree with something she said, but towards the latter part, I didn't agree. When she said because of this role change, that's why we have a lot of divorces. We have a lot of divorces because a lot of people are speaking up against the ills that their mothers couldn't talk about. And that is what is shaping the behavior why a lot of people are getting divorced. It's not because roles are changing, no. A woman has learned not to stay in an abusive situation. Before the role was when you're growing up, if your husband beats you, you see, some elderly women, and the woman was like, no, when we were younger, they used to beat us, but we're still there. And I said, man, look at you now, look at your mates. Look at it. She's like, my dear, an option, as in we didn't have an option there. But if they knew better,
they would do better.
They would have left.
Better.
This is a woman who is 75 who was speaking. So when it comes to roles, we should not interchange roles and values. Values is what should be universal. roles, they have to come to an understanding. Women are supposed to be helpmates to men, not slaves. They're supposed to work together. A man should be okay. He brings home money. Okay, this is funny. A woman will always say a man's money is our money. Her money is her money. When it comes to that one, there's no gender role.
Yeah.
But the idea is women should understand that a man should also help out in the house. But she shouldn't make it compulsory.
You should be
A
a
man
plus.
should say, let me help you do the
You
yes.
should be a plus.
Let me dishes, but she shouldn't make it and okay, it's not your time to go and do the dishes. A man's ego, he will feel insulted. He wouldn't do it. So also when we're trying to look at the gender roles, we also have to be careful of hyperfeminism.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
trying to put our values. No, it has to be done this way. It can't be done that way. You cannot boss a man around. Even with whether you have money or not.
Yeah.
Poor men are very proud though.
Yes, so yes, so okay. So let me. I just want to go back to something that she said that I kind of agree with. Like she said, the swapping of roles, it might not be the main factor, but it actually contributed to divorce. Because because see, this is what you as a man you're supposed to provide for me. Why I do this other part, but I found out I'm the one doing the provision and doing the other parts. Of course, I'm going to work out because I'm going to be like, I'd rather be single. If you are supposed to provide for me and you're not providing for me, but I am providing for the family and then I'm still cooking, I'm still cleaning, I'm still bearing children and doing all that. I'm basically still doing everything. Of course, it contributed to women working out, which is why I think I agreed with that, with what she just said about it contributing to divorce. Because when the rope swapped, I'm paying the school fees, I'm paying the house rent, I'm paying the I'm practically still doing everything as a woman. Of course, I'm going to work.
That comes down to values. If you have values of commitment, integrity, you understand each other. If a man and woman shouldn't fight over petty things. Who is paying the bill? Who is paying the house rent? These are things you'd have discussed before you got married. And when there's a situation where the man is unable to provide, the woman should understand and step in. It's a season. It's not a permanent thing. Except
None of it is permanent because we know out there right now a lot of that is permanent. A lot of women are the one paying the bills now, and then they still come back from work and they are still expected to get into the kitchen and to cook and to take care of the children and to still do all that. It is prevalent now. It's actually happening now.
Then there's a problem. We must talk about it. We have to point it out. I can't be cooking, cleaning, providing, sleeping with you, and you just be sitting at home all day. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah. So I'm just saying I kind of agree with that aspect of what she said. I agree with her that it contributed to divorce. The swapping roles actually I think contributed to divorce. Okay. So
contributing factor, yeah, I agree.
So let's go on and talk about, is there actually a difference in the effects of gender roles? I think we've talked about that. We've talked about boys suppressing their emotions. Okay, so there's a funny one I think we should talk about. You mentioned it briefly, but about this color of pink being the color of a girl and blue being the color of the boy. And when we see a man in pink, we are like, why is he putting a feminine color? Like, should that actually be a thing? Is that a myth or a fact? And before we go to that, I think there's a question that just came in. Can I have that question again, please? It went off. Someone said some churches don't allow women to preach. I guess, I don't know. Okay, he said culture, environment and upbringing play a big role in gender roles. What is your perspective about that? Let me ask you that, Comfort.
Yeah, I think I've touched this a little bit earlier, that culture affects the way we behave. Even if there things are changing, we are changing with
the society is changing.
The society is changing, and we are changing with the society. We are also affected by culture, by the environment we're in. These things affect us. So it affects the gender role. Like where I come from the East. I could remember, I'm using myself as an example. My dad visited me sometime before he passed away, and I asked him, please stay with the kids. Let me just rush out and get some groceries. He was like, no.
Wow.
You want me to? You brought me to America to babysit for you? You want the village people to hear this? So, to him, a woman is supposed to take care of the children.
No
He is
matter
not
what.
supposed to take care of the kids. So that is culture. And he felt disrespected for me telling him that. And I understand. I get it. So that is the culture we're in. So even me, there are things, even though I'm in America, there are things you ask me to do. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
I'm a woman.
I can't, you know. So yes, culture, environment affects gender role. Even though I'm in America, there are still things
No, you can't.
I cannot allow America to influence me. I'm from Nigeria, I'm from the East. So I'm an adult when I came into this country. So
You were already made.
yes,
You
so
had to
no
reset
culture here will affect, that is influence
you.
how I behave, how I think. I am still the daughter of the soil. I still behave like an Igbo woman. So, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Bola, do you want to say something, anything to that?
Not really. Values. But everything points down to values. Values is what determines your culture, your environment are all embedded in the values.
That was instilled in
Like
you
she
while
said.
growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, when growing up, like she said, when we were growing up, my dad used to pound yam a lot. But he used to pound it he would lock the kitchen.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Bola. Someone just said something. He said, I tire for that color thing. When I wear a pink top, people tell me I am gay.
No, but the truth is, colors. When did it become like, okay? Before my dad used to let me finish this.
Yeah.
Pound, and he would lock the door and pound it when my grandma was around, so that my grandma would not go back home and say,
Oh wow.
it's my
husband
son that is pounding yam.
pounding.
Yeah. But we used to like daddy cooking. We used to enjoy daddy cooking. But daddy also had to, whenever his mom is around, he has to hide.
Apply wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. Wisdom.
Apply wisdom, yes.
So when he got, so the thing is, like she said, value. What is your value system like? That will help you interpret your roles.
Your roles better. Yeah. Yeah. What do you place the high premium on? Go on.
Yeah. So for me, value first, the role, because I grew up learning and knowing that there's nothing a man can do that I cannot do. That's the way I'm wired. So very little things a man does, apart from saying I am a man, I don't think there's anything a man can do that we weren't taught growing up to learn how to do.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
my submission.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I think in a way we are kind of raised the same way. Because my own dad too made sure we were all raised the same way. And there's really nothing a man can do that I won't, even if it's just for me to attempt it, I will attempt it. If I have to take the screwdriver and unlock something and change the bulb or do whatever that averagely we think is a man's job, I do it. I attempt it. But then I think there is a negative part to it, because as a woman you tend up not to actually want a man. I guess maybe you can become too independent,
You don't need a man.
because that's one of the problems that I found in my own self, that I really practically can hit my chest and tell a man that I can be on my own. So I think it could actually be like a negative thing. I'm not sure. I'm actually just putting that out there. So someone said in Africa especially, women are the major breadwinners. Women are the major breadwinners. How true is that?
Women
Are the major breadwinners.
Women nowadays, women are making more money. And they cannot go to see their children suffer. So they are putting food on the table in the absence of the man.
Mm-hmm.
A man has plenty of responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Pay rent, he will do fine boy, he will carry side chick.
So side chick is now his responsibility. Can you imagine?
So because of that, his resources for taking care of the family is reduced.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman cannot see her children suffer while she's working. So she puts food on the table, irrespective of whether the man is bringing it or not.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of women have become breadwinners. Women are hustling.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hustling because of themselves. They're hustling because of their children.
Of their children. Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes, so for me, it's women are becoming breadwinners by default.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Aris Coxco, thank you for joining. Thank you, Trust. Thank you, Uzo. Thank you, Adeshola. Thank you, Sister Dupsy. I can see you all. Thank you all for joining. We have another question. I'll come back to, there's a question here as well. Should there be any difference at all in the way we bring up girls as against boys? And I'm going to ask you that. Should we actually train them differently? I think we've actually we talked about this.
Yeah, but let me say something. I think yes and no. Mm-hmm. I will say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that the girl child, no matter what, is going to be married by a man. Mm-hmm. And from experience, I find out that most men don't like women that don't know how to cook. So you need to know how to cook, you need to know how to clean the home, you need to know how to take care, be accommodating, with the belief that if children comes in the home, you will be able to take care of them. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that men should not be trained to cook, to clean the house and so. But I think they should be the yes. While the men should be trained to provide for the home. That does not mean that women should not be trained to also provide in case the man is unable to do that.
Okay. That's all right. Thank you so much. So Bola, let me ask you the same question. Do you think we should train our children differently? Like train the boy child to do this and the girl child, like she just said, like the girl should actually be taught how to cook, but it doesn't mean the boy too should not learn, and vice versa.
You know, I have a friend who has 4 boys.
Wow.
Now, we should tell her boys that they should not enter the kitchen. There are some basic things you have to train a child. Respect, honesty, integrity. Those are basics for all children. Do not lie. Always tell the truth. Be helpful. Try and be respectful. Those are basic things. But when it comes to a woman should know how to do, the children we have now, most of them don't know how to cook. The children we have now, I work with a lot of teenagers. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are struggling. They don't know how to cook. Their parents have cooks. They have house helps who do everything. When they get married, I was like, when you get married, what are you going to do? They said, Auntie,
I'll get a chef. I'll get a chef. That's what they do these days.
Good. But now, she will not look for a man who understands her kind of person.
Yeah.
I would not marry. Yeah, I wouldn't marry a man who knows I don't know how to cook. and is not willing to help me, there's going to be, that's fire brigade.
Marry your kind. That they've been saying that for this thing. They'll tell you marry your kind. If you don't know how to cook, marry a man that really doesn't like food. That is not crazy about food.
No.
I don't know what you're saying.
If you don't know how to cook, everybody likes food. If you don't know how to cook, at least make an effort. But if you know that you don't know how to do it, make an arrangement. Yes, my friend who has been married for 15 years, for the first 10 years of marriage, she could not cook. Another of our friends, they stay in block of 6 flats. That one comes from the back to help her in the kitchen, cook plenty of food, put it inside the freezer. When the husband comes, they dish food for him, he eats. The man does not know the difference. But meanwhile, she was going to culinary school to go and learn how to cook. So that by the time she fully learned, that was when she was able to tell her husband that, come on,
I'm not the one that's been cooking, though.
Not maybe they cook more. But because there's an understanding. So like you said, marry your kind. Marry a man who understands you. Marry a woman who understands you. A man might decide that, come, I'm not going to work for anybody, I want to do my business. And when you're an entrepreneur, there's always a downtime. Can a woman sustain the downtime?
Can she pick up the slack then? Yeah.
Yes, you have to marry your kind.
Yeah.
You can't be okay, for instance, you're a fashionable man, you like buying clothes, you like going out, you like hanging out. Marry a woman who always wants to stay inside. There's going to be problem. I'm any problem.
That's any problem.
Yes.
Anyway, it is well. So do you agree with what she just said?
Okay. Marry your kind.
Yes.
Okay. That is true. But the thing is that some men can tolerate for a little while. Like that her friend that went to culinary school to learn how to cook. That was a smart move.
Yeah.
Some men might not tolerate that. And that is why we said we need to train our girl child to know how to do the basics. There are rules for women and there are rules for men. Women should be trained in their roles. That does not mean that they should not learn the roles of men. And men should be trained in the roles of women. That does not mean the men should be trained in their role. That does not mean that they should not learn the roles of women. Because not all men will tolerate that. And not all women will tolerate their man not being able to provide for them. So you train them in their roles, and if something happens along the line and they are in a position to do the role of the other gender, they will also be able to do it. That's my take on that.
All right. Thank you so much. So we don't keep going back and forth, but personally, I think it should be balanced. Train the boy child how to cook. Train the girl child how to cook. Train the girl child to be responsible. Train the boy child to be responsible. Train them how to handle finances, both of them. It should not be you and the man. You should calculate how to spend money, and then the woman will. Once the man give the woman money, the woman goes on and just spend it anyhow because she doesn't have the knowledge of finances. So I think it should be balanced. Someone said a man can't do out chores in peace. Neighbors and family will start reading meanings and blaming the wife. Daddy will tell the children, go and meet your mommy. And someone said, they will say his wife has tied him down. Okay, so these are things that are coming in that, please, let's train our boys and girls how to cook. Yes, I think we should train both of them on how to cook. Someone also said, funny enough, men cook well than some females. I think Bola said that. And another person said, all the training should be the same, except in dressing and body grooming. Yes, I agree. I think we should train them the same. We should try and balance it out. Because if we actually look at these things, there are downsides. Like, if a guy lost his job, what happens to the family if the woman doesn't have to provide for the family? And if the woman is, let's say, sick or went out of town for work for like 1 month, what would the family be eating if the man doesn't know how to cook? So I think it should be balanced, and we should at least try to train them to know everything. We should train balanced children. That's actually the word. Balanced, well-rounded children. Is there gender roles in romance? Can a man propose to a man? This is actually a big one. You know, next week we are talking about the role of women in sexual relationship. Because 2 fans of the show actually sent me a mail telling me they needed me to address that. They are men. And they said their wives have this preconception that it's only the man that should make advances sexually. So that's what we are talking about next week. But since someone just asked that question, I am going to ask you, Bola, what your thoughts are. That is there gender roles in romance? Can a woman propose to a man? Can it just be a man that is initiating it? Can it just be like, he's the husband that should touch me first? I've been waiting for him to touch me.
Why are you asking me this kind of question?
It's not me, I mean, is it me? They just, no double standard. They will just put it there, no double standard. They just flash the question to me. It's not me.
Okay. You know, because it is the way it is that the man has to kneel down and propose.
So you should be the one making the advices too.
Yes. So it is strange now to see a woman kneel down and propose. Like, what's wrong with that?
What a man can.
When it comes to
Exactly. You know, did you hear what she just said?
not the proposal.
Okay.
You know, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. It's because that stereotype has been created
in us,
in
yeah.
our mind. Yes, that is what
It's innate.
when it comes to who should touch who first. That's why daddies are going out. Because the girls out there will touch them first. But the
From their head, scratch from their head.
before they should touch. So the thing is, it is, you know, when they talk about all these things, that's what I'm saying. I'm a Christian. Churches should talk more on these kind of things. A lot of women are losing men to younger girls, women outside, because they are doing it well. They're doing the things that the men want. We still talked about it today. But the women are trained, gender roles.
Yeah, gender roles, yeah.
Don't approach him or he will
Don't
beat
make
you
the
forward.
first move. You'll become the
Don't make
prostitute.
Yes. Meanwhile, the marriage is gradually disintegrating. So yes, it's a good topic. Please.
Yeah, that's what we are talking about next week. Actually, that's what that's the topic for next week. Is the roles of. Yeah, you want to say?
Yeah. I want to say something regarding the question. Yeah. Generally, it's men that kneel down to propose to women. If the reverse should be the case, society comes in again, and even the man, the society will.
Yeah, true.
What?
True.
And the man will look. Are you that desperate? You see, the man will not respect the lady because the man is supposed to do that. So when the lady does that, the man will, oh, she's so desperate. Are you sure she's okay?
Even
Maybe
though
something is wrong with her.
I cannot do it. No.
Something is wrong with her. Why should she do that? There must be something wrong with her. Then they will start digging.
Yeah.
What's wrong with her? And I don't think that relationship will last. Even if the man might not agree, because people will look at him and like,
Yeah.
it's never done this way. So that's the problem. The society caves the way we'll go.
Yeah. True. I agree. Go on, Bala.
I always say that you shouldn't have to ask a man to marry you. If the man wants to marry you, you ask himself.
Straight up. Straight up.
It's
But that is happening these days. Even though when I see a video like that of a woman proposing, I cringe somehow. I feel somehow like I don't know. Maybe it's the stereotypical thing, the stereotype thing that you're talking about, or this innate way of life that we've been trained to believe in. Because if we want to think about this thing real deep, what is actually the big deal in proposing to a man? But because we've been groomed not to see it as a thing a woman should do, which I think that is what she's trying to explain, that we've been groomed And so we see some things as a woman should not do it, a man should do it. Someone said African ladies.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I know, like what she said. Sorry to interrupt you. I agree. Respect. You lose respect at the end of the day because of the way we are trained. It's our value system.
Yeah.
It's a value system. We lose respect when you start to propose to a man or you do some things that are basically men roles.
Yeah.
Are you now talking about men's role? You said
You can do everything now, whatever a man can do.
apart from impregnating a woman.
No, the truth is this. The truth is this. There are lots of men. There's lots of women who have asked men to marry them.
Yeah, there are.
But it's not in the public space.
Yeah.
So the thing is both ways. Like I said, a lot of people.
And I actually know some men that like it. That will tell you, why can't you say something? Yes, I know a guy.
Exactly.
That just say something. A Nigerian guy. So there are some men that actually like it when you take that initiative. Like the one I'm talking about that we're dealing with next week, they are from men that we want our women to make advances. Nigerian men.
No, it is. If you are
It's not
married,
every time.
yes, the wife can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you are not married, you're
No,
just
even proposing.
dating or
There are
proposing.
couples that they got married and was the wife that proposed. There are.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that it's not common. It's still strange to us. It's still not something we want to
It's not.
see.
It's not even in the public space. It's not in the public
Yes.
space.
Yes, it
It's
still
not in the public
happens.
space. I don't know.
Because it's
I
not
know like
socially
three
acceptable.
It's not. Yes, it's not
In our
socially.
society.
It's not socially acceptable. Yes, I agree.
In
It's not
our
acceptable.
society. In our society. It's not
Yes,
acceptable.
it's not acceptable. Yeah. Okay. Someone said it's no big deal. It's sharing of feelings. It's sharing of feelings. Okay. Someone said. Okay, go on.
No, if a man, like I said earlier, if a man wants you, he will ask. You know, let's go back to the Bible. The man was created. A woman was also created to be the helpmate to the man. So the Bible also gives us dominance that the man has to be in charge
Yeah, of course.
of things.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's why you see that the man has to ask. You know, the Bible will say, the family of Isaac went to ask for Rebecca's hand.
Rebecca's hand.
People went to ask. Everybody was always asking. So we just feel that, okay, the right thing to do is to be asked.
For the asking.
Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah, but then a lot of things is affecting our society these days. That's the truth. Someone said African ladies don't even know how to toast, not to talk of proposing. We must share it equally. What a man can do, a woman can do better, please. That's from a guy. And he said, let us remove all this old school grooming. Only a boy will disrespect a woman who proposes. Wow. A man will not. The same exposure that applies to a man should also apply to a woman that is coming from a man. You see what I just told you?
Yes.
That is coming from a man. He said it's only a boy that will disrespect a woman who proposes.
Okay. It's just like, it's the very few that understands this. I will say like 1% or 2% of the population, especially back in Africa, will understand this. 99% will not. They will like, no, it's my responsibility to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
I know,
very few
as
of
in
them
the
will-
percentage of
yeah.
those that will kick against it will be. Yes, yes, true. And Keaton, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining Ronke Adeshokon. Thank you for joining Grandma Black. Thank you all for joining. Some names have gone up. Tamalin Black. Oh, thank you, Grandma Tamalin. Thank you, Inkuruka. I think I said that before. Keaton, thank you for joining in. Then someone said you have to study your partner to know if he has that stereotype mentality, which is true. And someone said, what happens to he that finds a wife? He that finds a wife, has it turned to he that finds a husband? Anyway,
That is a topic for another day. It's a whole topic for another day. It's a topic for another day. He who finds a wife.
Yeah. Okay.
You find out that most of the things that happen in the society have its roots from the Bible.
Bible, yes. Oh no, true.
Yeah.
True. The Bible shaped our society,
Yes.
the bulk of our society. True. But when they are coming for you, they say you are not using the Bible to justify proposal. Did Isaac also wash plates in the Bible?
In the book of Jeremiah, it was stated there that the man could wash the plates.
Oh my goodness.
Let me look for the Bible verse so that I can post it.
Now they are saying you should not kill them. Oh. Now you are using Bible to justify proposals now. So they are basically saying women too should propose since they want them to be washing plates.
Yes.
Anyway, we have 10 more minutes. Go on.
The Bible is the foundation of all things.
Mhm.
Understand? Most of the law that we are being governed by has its roots in the Bible.
Yeah.
Most of the English law is being governed by the Bible. So a lot of things we always tilt towards biblical principles.
Yeah, true. All right. Anyway, thank you both so much. Thank you all so much. So we have like less than 10 minutes, I think. But thank you. It's been fun coming back here to do this again. So let me come back to you, Comfort, and ask you about your final thoughts about what do you think about everything we've talked about today. What is your final thoughts? Maybe we have a woman who is married and is struggling with the fact that her husband can't help her in the kitchen, and then she has to work, she has to contribute to the finances of the home, and then come back and cook, and then she's grumbling. What would you tell that woman? What advice would you give that woman? The systems are changing and the internet are making things unclear. Religious books don't help matters sometimes. Okay, your final thoughts, because these things are coming in.
Okay. I think my advice to the woman is communication. Most times, you find in marriages, women are afraid to talk to their husbands, and even when you want to talk, the man blocks you. But I think the woman should try as much as possible to communicate to the man, express her feelings to the man, and in a respectful way. And I believe if the man really loves the woman, the man will listen to the woman, yes, and help her, yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me come back to you too, Bola. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, when it comes to gender roles, parents should be role models to their children. That's what will shape the way they will grow up. So if the parents are expressing themselves and their true qualities, regardless of what the society will say, it's shaping up the child. Like how we grew up now, we know that a man can also cook. There's there's no big deal in it. Our parents did it and they are fine.
Yeah.
So we should not allow stereotypes to destroy the way we raise our children.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining in. The Bible way, they are still talking about the Bible way on here. They are saying the Bible doesn't help matters at times, but we know we are Christians, and the Bible is our own watchword. So we believe in the Bible. That's who we are. Anyway, my own final thoughts will be marry your friend. Try as much as possible to. This is for every single person out there, actually, because I wish at times I sit down and I think about it, and I wish I see someone to tell me some things before I got married. It's very important for you to marry your friend. Marry someone that understands you, that knows you. It's important. It's not just important. Marry your friend, because the issues that we see in homes these days could actually be resolved if you guys were friends. You know, my friend doesn't know how to cook. I have female friends that doesn't know how to cook. I won't crucify them for that. If I can cook for them to eat, fine. If I can't, then they can get their food elsewhere. That's what friendship should be about. But there are still some basic things that we need to do. It's actually not crime for you if you don't know how to cook, But if perchance you end up with someone who likes you cooking, there's no crime in you making the efforts to learn how to cook. You see, in this part of the world where we live in the society here, once their wife can cook is actually a big deal for them. They celebrate when their wife is cooking. Most of the time they eat out. But I tell people we are Africans. Where we come from, we are Africans. We don't eat out too. We don't. We cook. That's not the truth. It's bitter. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But it's actually the truth. We cook. We eat in-house food, homemade food, home-cooked food. That's what we eat as Africans. So if you are perchance in a relationship where your husband like you cooking, there's no crime in you making that effort to learn how to cook. But if you're also in a relationship where your husband really doesn't care, your husband is the one that likes the cooking, my sister, enjoy it though. Enjoy it. Because I know some marriages, I know there's one of my friends that tells me about her husband's friend, that she is actually the one that cooks. They've been married for 12 years. He's the man that cooks. They are Nigerians. He's the one that cooks. The wife doesn't know how to cook and doesn't want to learn. She doesn't like cooking at all. And that the man cooks. When they come to their house and they see her in the kitchen cooking, the husband is sitting, the friend who is the wife is sitting down, and she's cooking. Her friend will be telling her, Kushel, as in like, well done, no, here. And her husband will be laughing. So it's just understanding, know your partner. Like I said, marry your friends and know each other. And picking up the bills at the same time. For example, when you're single as a lady, you were taking care of yourself. And same thing for the guys. When you were single, you were cooking, you were eating.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, that's just the truth. Most of the time, ayo, that's what we call it in Yoruba. It's just see finish. Now I'm married, I can't cook again. But then when you were single, you were cooking. Same thing with you, the woman. When you were single, you were taking care of yourself. You were paying your bills. You were working, paying your bills, eating, looking good. And then because you are married now, you believe the guy should be the one doing it. So the truth of the matter is, let's marry our friends, let's understand each other, know who your partner is, know who your spouse is, know who you're dealing with. If the person but in all honesty, it won't be easy for me to go and struggle, contribute to the house and still be the only one cooking. That's just the truth. It comes off, it gets at you at times, even though most of the times as women, we are trained not to complain about it, which is what I think Bola was trying to say all this while. We are trained to just take it and swallow it, and then we go about the house being bitter and sad, and then we are grumbling. And then the thing that men don't know is this actually affects the other room. Because you are grumbling the whole day, you are bitter, and then you get on the bed, someone is bringing their hand. As in like, from what to where? From where to where? I'm telling you. Yes, now, like I came back from work at 6 o'clock. I ran in the kitchen. I cooked. I made sure you eat. I met you at home. You sat down. You were reading newspaper, and then you ate. And then we got on the bed. You are bringing your hand again. And I'm already bitter and angry. And then you are bringing your hand. Anyway, that's for next week. Anyway, we are done for today. So thank you all so much. Yes, now where's the hand coming from? And for those online, I really don't know the two people we have to pick for today. So I'm going to ask for suggestions from you guys. Who are the two people? I'm thinking it's between Amaka and Tofumi. Oluwaseun Tofumi, you know you are not part of this one, right? Even though you contributed. I don't know, you guys, I just need you to tell me who are the two people you think contributed the most today so that we can pick our two winners and be done for today. Even if I don't get the answers now, you can you can send it in and then I'll see it after the show. But we need two winners, two contributors, two people that contributed the most on today's show. So you know the way we do it, you know we do giveaways on the show. So those two people get to win the cash prize of 10,000 naira each if you're in Nigeria and $50 if you're in the the United States. So go ahead, and I really don't know. I'm confused about the two people to pick. I need help. Shola, I need help about the two people to pick. I need help. I don't know. I know it's between Amaka. There's Trust, there's Tofumi, then Uzo. I see 4 people commenting, but I don't know the two to pick out of those 4. So I need help with that. Like I said, you can just leave a comment under this. I'll still see it after the show, and will tell you people who those two winners for today are. So thank you so much for coming on our show today, Comfort. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did.
I hope all the
First
next
experience, but I love it.
Oh, thank you. That's good. So the next time we call you, you'll come.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
You're
Our
welcome.
returning guest. Okay, Shola said Amaka and Uzo. All right. Thank you, Shola. That was very helpful. Thank you so much, Bola, for always tuning in and joining us on the show.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you
Shola.
very much for. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
I always look forward to coming here.
Yes, I know. I will bring you back soon again. So she's saying nice meeting you. She just said it's nice. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Okay, Joy. It's a
No,
pleasure
it's
to meet
comfort,
you.
it's not Joy, oh.
Comfort.
Sorry. Don't worry. I have so much joy. There's so much joy in my heart.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've
right.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Thank you all
take
so much.
care. Mhm.
All right, guys. So like I
Thank you very
said,
much.
You're
we'll be
welcome.
coming your way next week, and the week after next week, actually, we should be having viewpoints, but I think we need to talk about that, and then we'll let you know next week if we'll be having viewpoints the week after next week. So thank you all once again for joining us. Thank you for tuning in, and we've had a blast. We've had fun sitting here and doing this with you all today. Until next week when I come your way. Okay, oh, Auntie Bola, bye bye, yo. Please toast us too, oh. Bola just has a fan. He's gotten a fan. And they said, Mommy Joy, stay blessed. Who is Mommy Joy? Oh my goodness.
My name is Comfort.
Her name is Comfort. They are turning someone else's name to Mommy Joy. Anyway, thank you all so much. We'll see you next week. My name is still Odun. I'm still your friend. I'm still your sister. I'm still someone else's daughter. Shout out to my mom. And I'm still a woman just like you and every other person out there. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.
Really?
Yay!
Is it done?
Yes.